Smith tucked out the back, it bounces. It's Leota who's got it, and eventually he's going to take the tackle. And the Panthers on the last of 20 metres out. They run it to the right. Cleary's pass to the edge for Alamotti. Weaves infield, beats Gufferson, and scores the second Penrith try. Well, it was messy a moment ago as they were throwing it around to keep it alive. But that was just a classic shift to the right. And Paul Alamotti, one of the few players backing up from last week. 11 tries now for the season and already 2 in the day for the Panthers, who lead 8-0, kick to come.
Yeah, he's having an outstanding game so far, Nathan Cleary, isn't he? His kicking game's been absolutely phenomenal. He's come up with a couple of really nice passes, and he throws a beautiful dummy. His running game's starting to really threaten the Dragons' defence as well. And then just a simple short side play on last play. I thought he was going to go to his centre and just throws a nice cutout pass there to Paul Alamotti, and then he's just got a one-on-one against Clint Gufferson here on the line, and that right footstep there from Alamotti, very hard to tackle. Big, strong human being. Simple try there for the Panthers. They're looking sharp.
Michael Carrianis on the touchline. The storyline's there for the day. We're looking to see how Penrith are shaping up with all their keys back. It's looking all right so far.
Yeah, it's looking very good for the Penrith Panthers. With a few of their guns still missing. Liam Martin's obviously not playing. Brian Toll as well, but they're still a star-studded side, and they could potentially put the cleaners through the Dragons here this afternoon.
Now, story here about Flano might be a little tired and distracted from the birth of his first child last night. Congratulations to them. Now, I wasn't aware of that.
I wasn't aware either.
No, but that's an unnamed text, so we'll see if we can bring you more information there. If that's the case, congratulations.
It's a massive congrats.
Yeah. Cleary will try and convert. 6 metres in from the right wing touchline, so he's probably going to have to look at the left post with a bit of the breeze here. And he has, and it's weaved back brilliantly. Great strike from Nathan Cleary. Converts the try from Paul Alamotti. Penrith 10 lead St George Illawarra 0 with 22.5 minutes left in the first half. That NRLW score from here earlier today. Cowboys won 42-14 around the grounds in the New South Wales Cup second half. Raiders 24 lead the Jets 10. Queensland Cup Burleigh 14 lead Wynnum Manly 2 in the rugby test. A dozen minutes to the break. Wallabies 7 leading the Pumas 6. And in the AFL, that elimination final between the Giants and Hawthorn is just got underway. No score as yet there. You can hear the call on the ABC Listen app. Just look for the red and blue button from the kick-off. Smith with the first carry and taken about 15 metres in the field of play on that sunny eastern side with the beachside hill absolutely packed on what is just an idyllic Saturday afternoon in Wollongong. A bit of breeze around, but spring has sprung. It's finals kind of weather as Leota's over the 30 and plays it there for Penrith. Kenny jumps out of dummy half, gives it to Yo. Another gain of 15 metres for Isaiah Yo. Takes 3 Dragons to stop him. Quick play the ball. Kenny again jumps out of dummy half to the right for Cleary. Blindside. Cleary takes them on, but King Tongia drags him down. Is the tackle complete? No. Nathan gets up and keeps going. Now tackle pops it out the back. Goes on the deck through the legs of Yo, but he picks it up. Little bit messy on the 40 here for Penrith. He pops it up for Leota, who decides to just roll forward and take the tackle on 5. 35 out. Last play here for the Pink Panthers. Again, it's a Cleary kick towards the defensive left corner. Corey Allen can't get there. It pitches and goes dead. So a 20-metre restart, 7 tackle set coming up for the Dragons.
Tell you what, Corey Allen was flirting with danger there. The ball was in goal. All he had to do was catch it, let it bounce. Imagine it bounced backwards. There's 3 Panthers players lining up for it. So got lucky there, the Dragons. 7 tackle set.
So he's playing because of a late issue with Christian Tiwi Pilotu. Ben Murdoch-Masilla is the replacement, an 18th man now for the Dragons. So that was late news before the kick-off. 10-0 to the Panthers. Dragons with the ball. 8 inside their own half. Played there from the run of Fiene. Now to the right, Flanagan. Through the hands of Sewer onto Gutherson. McLean's there to make the tackle, along with Sorensen. Gutho plays it out in the right. Cook pops it up for Sewer. He just weaves towards that defensive left edge of Penrith, but he's put down. Sewer plays it 38 metres out. Dragons still to get on the scoreboard. Flanagan to the left. Oh, King Tongia, the pass recipient. Cleary read it, and right in his face makes a one-on-one tackle. Dragons on the last, on the back foot. They're 40 out. Flanagan puts up a bomb. It holds up in the breeze. Edwards leaps. It ricochets off his chest. Play on. Clemmer picks up Dragons ball. 20 out to the right. Gula to Flanagan. Runs it himself. And Flanagan completes a memorable weekend by scoring a try. Well, if those reports of the new birth are true, what a way to crown the new coming. Kyle Flanagan scores a try for St George Illawarra, and it's just what they needed. Penrith 10, Dragons 4, kick to come.
Yeah, good kick there from Kyle Flanagan. Gets it up nice and high. Nice chase there from the Dragons. Puts a little bit of pressure on Dylan Edwards at fullback there. And it's funny, Dylan never really looked like he was ever going to catch this. It comes off the shoulder. They get a really nice bounce there, the Dragons, and ends up going over to the right part of the field and where it needs to go. And just a quick little pass there from Gula to find Flanagan, and then just a show and go, goes straight through, use a bit of speed to score, and it's a great way to strike back there from the Dragons.
MC on the touchline.
Yeah, great way to strike back there from the Dragons. Shane Flanagan started this game in the coach's box, but's already found himself before the midway point on the sideline, so he wasn't happy with what he was seeing, and there you go, there's a little rock in the cradle there of the ball, so the person that texts in probably is bang on.
Yep. Yeah, great. Thank you for that. Make sure you send us your name when you text us, 0467 920 222. But Kyle Flanagan just making the most of a little bit of a broken field at the end of that set. And now we'll try and convert his own try. 20 in from touch on the right and about 18 metres out. Dragons looking for just their 9th win of the season. Since the round 16 bye, they've only won 3 of their 10 games. Mind you, they've beaten Canberra and Cronulla among those wins. So it's a frustrating thing for Dragons fans. Some of their footy has been pretty good, just hasn't been consistent. Flanagan with his right boot, raises the flags, converts his own try. And it's Penrith 10 leading St George Illawarra 6. 18 and a half minutes left in this first half. It's Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Quentin Hull, Luke Lewis and Michael Carianis with you live from Wollongong. And we'll be live at all 3 games today. Rabina next and Stadium Australia later on tonight. Around the grounds in the rugby, 7 minutes from half time. The Pumas have scored in Townsville. Argentina 16, lead Australia 7. New South Wales Cup second half. Raiders 24, Jets 10. Queensland Cup second half. Burleigh 14, leading Wynnum Manly 2. Restart, goes deep and too deep for the Dragons. It had to be played at by Flanagan, but as he caught it, momentum took him over the dead ball line.
Yep, he definitely caught it, catches it in the in goal. But I reckon if he lets it bounce, it's going to hit the ground anyway. So, and he was sort of running back at a... to their advantage. And I reckon they'll play football, a little bit more football down their line. They lay too many plays back to the middle of the field.
So a win and a trip to New Zealand is the reward for the Panthers. A loss and they'll play Cronulla next week. Dragons up to halfway. Having scored the most recent try in the game, 10-6 the scoreline. Buchanan has taken 42 metres from the Penrith line. Cook passes infield, end of the set. Flanagan with another bomb. It holds up in the wind. Whose turn to leap? Alamotti got taken out there trying to jump at that. And the referee agrees with the call.
He made contact with him before the ball comes down.
Yeah, penalty goes to Penrith. Well, Okay, what have you seen, MC? What's that chuckle for?
No, nothing. That was someone next to me. It wasn't me. I'm concentrating on the game.
Come on.
We've got to cut the
You
challenge.
reckon that laugh can be mistaken for anyone else?
Decision with a penalty for interference. He makes contact before the ball comes down. Have to jump for it. You're not the captain, mate. Let the process happen now and stand it up.
Send it up, captain's challenge from the Dragons.
So Cookie's sending it up, is he? Damien Cook having a chat to referee Peter Goff.
Damien, just let the process happen.
Chase has been cleared.
I know you've seen it. You'll go.
So the man in question for St George Illawarra is Matt Fina.
Yeah, but you know what? He doesn't. He just stops.
Haven't seen that.
Fino takes out
Yeah, he
all
just
Alamotti out of the contest.
He uses his
Challenged by
hip
the Dragons. He's
to
took
bump Alamotti away from the drop zone.
Yeah, you can't do that. No, that's a dumb challenge.
I understand your complaint. He runs into him.
Damien Cook is still arguing the toss there.
No, well, it was Clint Gutherson too. He's the one blowing up. But that's the right call there from Peter Goff. I don't know why they would even challenge that.
Well, out of frustration, or
That's yours, Q.
Nathan's kicked it to us. Or maybe he's kicked it to the coach who's sitting next to us. Cleary finds touch. We're about 5 metres northern side of halfway. So that's where the set starts, and first carry up to the halfway stripe. Near the NRL logo, Tungor plays it for Penrith. 13 and a half minutes left in the first half. Panthers leading 10 points to 6. Liam Henry's out there for the Panthers. He's taken a couple of metres beyond halfway. Kenny distributes left. Yo in the middle of the field pops it up for the head-geared Papali'i. And he's all getting away almost from Cook, who has to work really hard to put him down. 35 metres out. Just left edge. Blindside giving it to Lungy. Plays Talangi with another run at the line. Flanagan and DeBellin there to put him down. He'll play it out in the sunshine of the eastern side. 20 out. Back to right and centre field. Yo to Cleary at the line. Edwards men in motion to the right. Pops it up to Tungor. Defence on the left looks good though for the Dragons. Tackles made there by young Finn. Kept alive. Passed infield to Edwards. Grubbers for the in-goal area. And Suha had to arrive really quickly for the Dragons to bat it dead. So the shift to the right was covered by the Dragons
Just looking
defence.
to see here if there's a knock-on from Penrith before it's knocked dead by the Dragons.
Penrith coming back in field, and then the grubber was a question or two.
Yeah, the grubber was a nice kick, and it was really good communication from Edwards to Talangi. But they're just looking here to see if Talangi actually knocks the ball.
Is being cleared also.
And yeah, okay. So they're saying it's a knock-on from Blaze Talangi, but Jaden Sewer comes around and.
Yeah, Talangi's reaching for the ball, and sort of his palms push it into the body of Sewer.
No player has clear possession at the time the ball comes into Jaden Sewer's stomach. Plays Talangi, then knocks the ball forward. There you go. We have a decision.
There you go.
Okay, so Grant Atkins with the call from the bunker, which is well received by the Pro Dragons fans here on this gorgeous Saturday in Wollongong. Dragons holding up so far. 10 points to 6 in favour of Penrith. 13 minutes left in this first half. Amasele's out there now for the Dragons. Plays the ball on the 30. Now another rumble forward from young Halangahu. He's got a big future, I think, Jacob Halangahu. 19 years of age. Plays the ball 5 inside Dragons territory. To the right, DeBellin through Flanagan. Men in motion on the edge. Sewer's there, but he's taken down. Good tackle made by Talangi and McLean. Sewer plays it on halfway. Gutherson feeds Buchanan. He's knocked down quickly. Only a gain of 5 metres. Hayden Buchanan out in the right. Played to Cook. Pass left and centre field. DeBellin through the hands. King Tongia to Gutherson. Quick to the edge. Fine pops it on for Allen. Corey Allen, though, is taken. 15 in from touch on the right. 35 from the Panthers line. 10-6 in favour of the Panthers. But the Dragons just getting a bit of traction in the contest. Centering run down the middle third there from Sele. Plays it on the last. Back to the left for King Tongia. Kicks in behind the line. It's deep enough for Edwards to catch it under not too much pressure a metre from the goal line. Immediately tackled. End of set. Panthers on their own line.
Yeah, well, this will be the hardest set for the Panthers so far this afternoon. They're coming out from about 2 or 3 metres out from their own end, but it wouldn't surprise me again. They get up to the 40, or Nathan Cleary looks for an early kick for a 40-20.
They're only a dozen metres out on the carry of Jenkins. Kenny jumps out of dummy half. A couple of run metres before popping it up to Edwards, who's met and pushed back by DeBellin down low. Cook up top along with Su'a. Now, energy from Henry, one out run to the 30. But this has been a good defensive set from the Dragons. The Panthers are still on their own 30. So Cleary has to boot it as far as he can with his right boot. He's got Mother Nature helping as well, kicking towards that southern end. It bounces and Sloan gathers it, 10 from his own line, before Sloan meets the defence and is tackled about 18 metres out. Michael Carianis on the touchline. We've got, 11 minutes left in this first half.
Yeah, we do. Dragons about to make a key change. Jacob Little's about to come on to the field as well, and he's been outstanding for him and giving him a real burst of energy. So he gets an opportunity to play the last 10.5 minutes of this first half.
Big house in at Wollongong on a gorgeous day, and the Red V heavy underdogs today will get a piggyback penalty here on a hold down. 10 points to 6 in favour of Penrith. 10.5 left in the first half for the Dragons to go into attack.
Well, this will be good, just a really good opportunity for the Dragons. If they can kick up field here, get some nice field position, and if they get a try here, well,
that one's yours. Last kick was for me, that one was for you, Louis.
Hold here, wait.
It's well caught by a patron just in front of our box. So, Dragons on the attack. Fine with the first carry. 15 in from the western side, 35 out as he's taken. Played there to Little, to the right. Cook gives it on to King Tongia. Kenny was in his face and makes the tackle. Mike and King Tongia, centre field and 37 metres from the Panthers line. Sele charges down the middle third. To his knees, to his feet. Plays it 28 metres out. Little pops it up for Flanagan. Tells Sewer to come on the inside line. Sewer does. Receives the pass. Trying to buff it away from tacklers. He gets away from Edwards. He gets away from another. Before Edwards comes again, he got some help from Talangi to make the tackle. Pass to centre field. Cook to King Tongia. Man in motion to the left. Gutherson pass to the edge for Allen. Allen comes infield, gets through Elamotti and Cleary before being tackled only 8 metres out. Desperate defence there from Henry to make the tackle. Last play infield. Flanagan doesn't like it. Back to the left. Helengano's pass to Gutherson. His pass to King Tongia is knocked on. It was more hope of hot potato than anything really structured at the end of that set, but the Panthers survived.
Yeah, well, they're getting a little bit of joy down this left edge. They've made a couple of half breaks, and Paul Adamotti, he's coming up and in really hard on the centre or onto the 5'8" and liking King Tongia. They can get that pass right, and it's going to be a foot race to the corner, but really good scramble defence there from the Panthers.
Penrith on their 20. 9 minutes left in the first half. Panthers 10, leading the Dragons 6. Around the grounds, half-time in the Rugby Championship in Townsville. Argentina 16, lead the Wallabies 7. New South Wales Cup, second half, Raiders 24, lead the Jets 16. Queensland Cup, second half, Burleigh 14, lead Wynnum Manly 2. The AFL elimination final underway out west. Hawthorn made a good start. They lead the Giants by 22 points early. On call available on the ABC Listen app. Papali'i's got it just beyond halfway at the end of that Penrith set. High kick from Cleary, downfield, Sloan catches, defensive right corner, 10 from his own line out in the sunshine there, and he's met by the defence. Dragons to start this set. 10 in from the eastern side, 15 from the southern end. Buchanan receives from Flanagan. Gets to the 20 before Kenny makes the tackle. Now Flanagan feeds Little, should I say, feeds it infield. No way through on the run of Sloan. He gets to his feet. Little's there. He wants to be a dummy half. Gutherson was around too, but Little said, no, it's my job. He has a run 10 metres upfield. Taken 15 inside Dragons territory. Now it's Cook distributing to Gutherson. Gutherson on the red stripe at the 40 when Ref Goff says that's 5. End of the set for the Dragons. Flanagan once again with his right boot. Kicks it straight to Edwards this time. The fullback didn't have to move much there. Catches it 15 from his own line. Links up with Elamotti on the right. And Elamotti tackled 15 from halfway. 7.5 minutes left in this first half Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Panthers with the first 2 tries, but Dragons with the most recent. Penrith 10, St George, Illawarra 6. Penrith win and they'll finish 7th. If they lose, they'll finish 8th. Victory sees them go to play the Warriors. Defeat will see them stay in Sydney and play Cronulla next week. To the left, it's Isaiah Yeo giving on to Papali'i. Hits contact. Off post to Cleary. Quick hand Simonson to McLean. Down the left, over halfway, up to the 40, to the 30. Gives to Jenkins. Jenkins kicks infield. McLean's on the end of it. That's it. Scores. I think. Yes. So too does referee Goff. Oh, a bit of Pink Panther brilliance down the sunshine of the beach wing. And Casey McLean's on the end of it. it had a number of elements to it too, Louis. That's 14 points to 6 in favour of the Panthers. Kick to come.
Yeah, it was a nice little setup from the Panthers. You could see where they wanted it to go. Nathan Cleary straight away went over to that left edge, and then when he gets the offload, it's just a quick little tip on, and then McLean uses that speed, gives the ball to Jenkins, who has a whole lot of speed to burn as well. And really nice football here. And Jenkins, as he gets close, he wanted to pass, but he knew he couldn't get the pass in field. He gets a bit of a kick and a little bit of a ricochet, and the bounce is absolutely perfect there for Casey McLean, and scores another try there for the Panthers. They're on fire at the moment, the Panthers, especially that left edge.
MC on the touchline.
Yeah, they're just, as Louis just alluded to, they've just got too much pace for the Dragons at the moment. The Dragons are in the arm wrestle and have been for a majority of this first half, but there's been a couple of moments when Penrith have had the ball, they just can't match them for speed, and they just burnt them on the outside a couple of times, and again, it was on full display there.
Yeah, it was a good finish from Casey McLean, who's up to 15 tries now. No doubt looking to build on that international career, which started in such amazing fashion in last year's Pacific Championships, scoring 4 tries on debut for the Kiwis. Now Nathan Cleary. Ball placed about 19 metres out, 15 in from touch on the left. So that, and the flags are not as strong as they have been. Well, the flags on the H-poles not all that strong. I looked on top of the beach hill, it's a pretty good gust coming off the ocean. Cleary with his right boot, negotiates the ask comfortably. Converts the try, Cleary with 2 from 3 on the day, and it's Penrith 16 leading St George Illawarra 6 with 5.5 minutes left in this first half. Again, around the grounds, half-time, Argentina 21 led the Wallabies 7 in the test up in Townsville. New South Wales Cup, Raiders 24, Jets 20. The Raiders have won that New South Wales Cup game. That's full-time. Raiders 24, Jets 20. That's with 2/3 of their regular team.
That's a phenomenal win.
Playing in Redcliffe tomorrow. Queensland Cup second half. Burleigh 22 lead winner Manly 14. And as mentioned, the Hawks 22 points to the good over the Giants early in that AFL elimination final. Ali is employed to run the ball back off the kickoff. Gets to 15 metres in the field of play off the first carry. Sorensen play 2 down the middle third. Meets the defence just beyond the 20. What have we got? Just over 5 minutes left in this first half. Really important for the Dragons to hold out here as Edwards dummies and straightens. Almost got through. King Tongia there to make the tackle. 15 from halfway. Tunnel goes out a dummy half blind side. Runs straight into the tackle of Matt Finney, getting some help. Pushing close to the touchline. Allen was there as well, but tackle is made just before the touchline on the western side. Through the hands of Edwards, infield onto Henry. Henry stopped just beyond halfway. Last play coming up here for Penrith. Again, it's Cleary. Again, it's right boot. It's high and deep. Sloan catches comfortably. 10 from his own line, and once again, just short of the 20. It's you said cut and paste sets today for the Panthers, and you're right, Louis. It's been pretty neat.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what they did when they win comps. So look, they're not doing it as best they can at the moment, the Panthers. But let's just remember, most of these guys had a week off last week. They'll be better for the run this week, and I reckon this is how they're going to play through the whole semi-final series. Just get to that 50, kick to the corner, and be patient, strangle teams, and that's what they're doing at the moment to the Dragons side. 4 minutes left to the break. Dragons with it just inside their own half. Suarez cut down, plays the ball. Cook passes right, end of the set. Flanagan gets good depth on the kick. Edwards is well placed though. Catches it in a sliver of sunlight, 9 metres from that northern in goal. Runs over the 20s, sort of issuing Alamotti to come in field, but the defence puts him down. Halangahu there along with Fionney to make the tackle. Alamotti runs in field from the dummy half play. He's about a dozen inside Penrith territory as he's tackled there. Plays the ball to Kenny. Give it to Jenkins, the winger down the middle third. He scored the opening try of the game, Thomas Jenkins. Tackled 5 inside Penrith territory. Now to the left, Talangi pops it up for the infield line of Papali'i. Put on his back by 3 Dragons defenders. Panthers have got it 45 from the Dragons line. A couple left in the set. Yo receives, runs at the line. Now passes right to Cleary. Puts the ball on to Garner. The birthday boy through again. Passes back in field to Cleary. And Nathan completes the try that he set up. Cleary scores and the Penrith Panthers machine strikes in the shadows of half-time again.
Cleary with the try, 3 minutes to the break. He'll try and convert it. It's 20-6 kick to come.
Yeah, they're too good. There they go through one set after points. They get the ball back. They set up the play. And then Nathan Cleary comes over to this right edge. You can see he's got a couple of ideas in his head. But as soon as he sees the defender come up and out on Dylan Edwards, he plays short to Luke Garner. He runs a nice hole, keeps his footwork beautiful there. Nice strength. A really nice line from Luke Garner. And then Nathan Cleary, after he passes the ball, just stays pushing up the support, waiting for that pass back on the inside. And he gets a nice one straight on his chest and deserves a try the way that he's been playing so far this afternoon. And that's another nice try by the Mighty Panthers.
And Michael Carianis on your wing too. You've got a perfect view of that one.
Yeah, the Panthers in full flight again, and they're just so good at punishing sides and back-to-back plays, and that's what happened again here. The Dragons switched off. They came to fight here this afternoon. They started okay. We're in the arm wrestle. They're now back-to-back tries just before half-time, and the Panthers have another opportunity to potentially score another one.
They haven't done much wrong, the Dragons, Louis, but just, we've seen it season after season after season. It's almost, Penrith dare you to get in the grind with them.
Yeah,
just get in the grind with us because they just do it better than anyone else. Now, Cleary's conversion attempt. 8 metres in from touch on the right and 20 metres out. That's Cleary's 5th try of the season, by the way. He's kicked 2 from 3 so far today. 20 points to 6. 90 seconds left in the half. Conversion pending. Cleary strikes brilliantly over the black dot, just allowing for a little bit of left to right with the breeze coming off the hill. 3 from 4 on the day for Nathan Cleary. 4 tries to 1 for Penrith in the opening half. 90 seconds to the break. Panthers 22, Dragons 6. It's Saturday footy on ABC Sport with Quentin Hull, Luke Lewis and Michael Carianis. Around the grounds, halftime in that rugby championship game, Argentina 21 lead the Wallabies 7. And repeating, that undermanned Raiders New South Wales Cup team has beaten the Jets 24 points to 20. Burley still leading Wynnum Manly 22 points to 14. AFL elimination final first quarter, Hawthorn 31 lead the Giants 8. NRLW here earlier today, by the way. North Queensland beat the Dragons 42 to 14. Papali'i with the first carry off the kickoff, and he's tackled 10 metres from that northern end. So an important little 70-second period here, particularly for the Dragons. They don't want to concede again before the break. Second play, Henry 15 from his own line. Now Cleary, right side of the rack, a little dummy and scoop from the Penrith champ, but he's taken down by the tackle of Cook. Plays the ball to Kenny. Give it to Yo, and Isaiah Yo up over the 30, standing the big man, 3 around him. He'll be ordered to play the ball 15 from halfway. Now Henry receives 1 man to the left of the ruck. 1 out run, gains 10. Last place is referee Goff. Panthers find inside their own half. Once again, Cleary puts it to the skies. This one's a floater. Get under that, Gutho. Oh, great catch from the King. Going with the flight. He needed fingertip control. Going back to his goal line. Oh, that was a tough one.
That was a good take there from Clint Gupson. I'll tell you what, I didn't think he had any chance of catching that, the way that the ball was just floating and twirling around with this wind. He just sticks his hands out, just stuck to his hand like glue. Great take.
Yeah, just one of those, hit the belly of the ball just to let it float. And great purchase on the kick, and Gutherson did a great job. Couple of seconds left in this half. Dragons are on their own 20. King Tongi is going to die with the ball, and that's going to be the last play of the opening 40 minutes in Wollongong. Big names restored, and it seems normal service restored for Penrith, and they need it as much as they were hot favourites today, did rest a number of players. They haven't won since round 23. They've got to try and break a 3-game losing skid, the Panthers, and they're doing it against a team who's lost 3 in a row themselves, but the expectation of the 4-time champs, of course, very different to the Dragons here. We go to the break, and it's Penrith leading 4 tries to 1, 22 points to 6, the scoreline in favour of the reigning premiers. Jenkins, Alamotti, McLean and Cleary all scoring the tries. Panthers. Cleary kicking 3 from 4. Flanagan the try and conversion for the Dragons. So Panthers 2 tries before the Flanagan try, and then another 2 tries to the Panthers after that, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, well, the Panthers obviously had a game plan coming here today, and it was just to get through their sets and strangle the Dragons outfit, and I feel like they're doing that really, really well. They used the wind to their advantage. I thought Nathan Cleary's kicking game in that first half, bar one, was almost perfect. He's threatening every time he runs the ball. They look sharp on both edges, and every time that the Dragons make a mistake or get field position, the Panthers make them pay. So a really good 40-minute performance there from the Panthers. I'd like to see how they're going to play in this second half with the wind obviously running into it. The Nathan Cleary kicking game, how much will that change? But it'll be very interesting to see how it's going to pan out in the second half.
Good on you, Louis. Luke Lewis with you at half-time here, repeating 22 points to 6, the scoreline in favour of Penrith over the Dragons. Keep your messages coming on 0467 920 222. A few coming in, but with the action flowing, I'll get to them now. G'day to Glenn from Grafton. He says, shout out to my brother-in-law Brian, who's a first-time listener to ABC Sport around the fire pit. Good on you, Glenn. Hope he's enjoying it. 0467 920 222. Peter from Thailand texts, there's so much discussion about the Panthers' ability to win their next 4 games, but it's highly possible that whoever they play next week, it could be their last game. Indeed, that is right, Peter. So as it stands on the live ladder, they'll be going to New Zealand to play the Warriors. That's the circumstance if they win. If they do get beaten, they'll stay in Sydney and go to Shark Park to play Cronulla. By the way, Cronulla and Canterbury Bankstown doing battle later on today. That's the third live game we'll bring you. We'll also, in between, get to Robina with Gold Coast and the West Tigers, the meat and the sandwich today. Just before news, check around the venues. Repeating earlier today here in the NRLW, Cowboys beat the Dragons 42-14. Later on today, it's the Bulldogs and the Sharks at 5:15 in the NRLW. New South Wales Cup, Raiders 24 have beaten the Jets 20. To come, it's the Dragons and the Eels. In the Queensland Cup, Burleigh defeated Wynnum Manly. The Bears 22 over Wynnum Manly 14. Second half of the Rugby Championship test in Townsville is underway. The Pumas lead the Wallabies 21 points to 7. So 3 minutes into the second half, Argentina 21 lead Australia 7. And still first quarter in the AFL elimination final, but Hawthorn's made a very good start against the Greater Western Sydney Giants. The Hawks 43 lead the Giants 14. Half time at Wollongong, it's Penrith 22 leading the Dragons 6. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday of footy on ABC Sport, which continues from Wollongong after a trip to the newsroom.
ABC News with Glenn Lauder. New South Wales police are describing a fatal shark attack on Sydney's northern beaches as a freak accident. Emergency services were called to Long Reef Beach just after 10 o'clock after a 57-year-old DY man was pulled from the water suffering catastrophic injuries. He died at the scene. Police say his surfboard was recovered in 2 pieces and the man had lost a number of limbs. Inspector Stuart Thompson says the experienced surfer was pulled underwater while riding with friends.
It's a terrible, terrible thing, and it's one of those freak incidents that happens very, very rarely. Obviously, there's a lot of people down at the beach at the time. It's a beautiful day here at DY. It's a great tragedy.
Northern Beaches Council says beaches between Manly and Narrabeen remain closed as lifeguards patrol on jet skis. Police say there's been no talk about reducing the numbers of officers searching for alleged gunman Desi Freeman in Victoria's high country. 450 officers from a variety of different agencies are still looking for the 56-year-old who allegedly shot dead 2 police officers in Porpunga 12 days ago. Victoria Police has now posted a record reward of $1 million for any information that leads to his arrest. Detective Inspector Dean Thomas says police will remain in the area for as long as it takes.
We are as driven today as we were on the day of the 26th of August when this first occurred. The police that are out there are extremely driven to bring this to a safe conclusion where he can be brought into custody and held to account for what he has done.
Analysts are viewing the US president's move to rebrand the Department of Defense as the Department of War as nothing more than a PR stunt. Donald Trump has announced the department will be known by the name it was until 1947, as it just sounded better. adding the department had become woke since it changed after World War II. Senior editor at the online publication Lawfare, Anna Bauer, says there's no practical change to the department's operation.
The Department of Defense will still be the Department of Defense. The president actually does not have the legal authority to change the name. This is kind of what you might call a nickname of sorts. They can use the name War Department, but it's not really a substantive change. It's more of a political strategy, a PR strategy.
Baton-wielding riot police in Serbia have fired tear gas and charged at thousands of people protesting against the autocratic rule of President Aleksandar Vučić. The demonstrations are being led by university students 10 months after a concrete canopy collapsed at a train station in the town of Novi Sad, killing 16 people and igniting a wave of public outrage over alleged state corruption and negligence. Vučić, who says he wants to take Serbia to the European Union, has branded the protesters as terrorists who want to unseat him with the help of the West. He attended this week's gathering in China alongside the leaders of Russia and North Korea. Back home, and farmers are pessimistic about crop forecasts this year, despite a positive outlook for spring weather. The Bureau of Meteorology says a significant part of the country can expect a soggy spring, with its long-term outlook showing wetter than average conditions, particularly in the east. National Farmers Federation President David Jahinki says crops and pastures are already a long way behind due to dry conditions through the first half of the year.
To an extent where we will not be able to achieve an average year. However, if we have good conditions, that we should be able to close that gap a lot. But the end that actually gives us reserves, the end that gives us a lot of our profit has been lost for this season.
The American singer and guitarist Mark Volman has died at the age of 78. He co-founded the 60s rock band The Turtles, helping to provide vocals for their hit song Happy Together. Reached number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100, but only reached 25 on the Australian charts in 1967. In sport, North Queensland is temporarily up to third on the NRLW ladder after a 42-12 win over St George Illawarra in Wollongong. Francesca Goldthorpe scored a double for the Cowboys, who ran away with the match after leading 18-10 at half-time. Cronulla can reclaim third with victory over the 11th placed Bulldogs later this afternoon. And in the AFLW, Melbourne Nam has kept its unbeaten start to the season alive with a 37-point demolition of Richmond as Indigenous round continues. Kate Hoare kicked 2 goals for the Demons in the 8-9-57 to 2-8-20 victory. It keeps the Tigers second bottom. Meanwhile, the Gold Coast has picked up its second win of the season with a 52-33 win over GWS, who has now lost its opening 4 games of the season. That's ABC News.
You meet the most interesting people on Sunday morning.
I tell you what, I'd kill for some clean air and a good coffee over here. And there's no generic latte over here.
Come home straight away, please. Join the rest of Australia right here on Sunday morning. Australia All Over on ABC Radio. ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership.
He's taken down only 8 metres from the Dragons' goal line at the southern end. Kenny distributes left through Yo to Cleary. Holds it, gives it. Talangi, second man, McLean, lightning hands. Jenkins over in the corner. There's the slick 4-time champs on display early. Beautiful work to the left from Penrith. The Panthers on the last of 20 metres out. They run it to the right. Cleary's pass to the edge for Alamotti. Weaves infield, beats Gufferson and scores the second Penrith try. Dragons on the last on the back foot. They're 40 out. Flanagan puts up a bomb. It holds up in the breeze. Edwards leaps. It ricochets off his chest. Play on. Clemmer picks up Dragons ball. 20 out to the right. Gula to Flanagan. Runs it himself. And Flanagan completes a memorable weekend by scoring a try. To the left, it's Isaiah Yo giving on to Papali'i. Hits contact. Offloads to Cleary. Quick hand Sorensen to McLean. Down the left, over halfway. Up to the 40, to the 30. Gives to Jenkins. Jenkins kicks infield. McLean's on the end of it. Grabs it. Scores. I think. Yes, so too does referee Goff. Panthers have got it 45 from the Dragons line, a couple left in the set. Yo receives, runs at the line, now passes right to Cleary, puts the ball on to Garner. The birthday boy through a gap, passes back infield to Cleary, and Nathan completes the try that he set up. Cleary scores and the Penrith Panthers machine strikes in the shadows of halftime again.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
and on the ABC Listen app.
Gorgeous scene for spring footy at Wollongong. Welcome back. It's round 27 on ABC Sport. Quentin Hull, my name. Penrith leading St George Illawarra by 22 points to 6 at half-time. They win. They're headed across the ditch to play the Warriors. If the Dragons come back and pinch the points, it'll be Penrith versus Cronulla in the first week of the finals next week. So that's the pointy end of the argument. Let's go to the other end. The Robina roller coaster today. There is still a chance for the Titans to get off the bottom. They're taking on the West's Tigers, and Zane Bojak's on the call. Zano.
Thank you very much, Quentin. Not quite the brilliance that you've got in Wollongong today, because it's 19 degrees and overcast here at Robina. And as you mentioned, the Titans looking to fend off that wooden spoon. They would love to send out Kiwi champion Kieran Foran and, of course, their outgoing coach Des Hasler with a victory today, and also give themselves a chance of, if Knights go down tomorrow to the Eels, perhaps getting off the bottom of the ladder. While for the West Tigers, look, they're chasing their first last round win since 2017, and they've had some big floggings in the last round since that time as well, and their first season with 10 wins since 2019. Plus, we've got 3 debutants who I'm really looking forward to, including star wonder boy Hamasi Makasini for the West Tigers. He's a schoolboy. He's at Newington College. He's played 4 games for the Magpies. He's 18 years of age. He is more than 108 kilos and runs like the wind. Looking forward to him making his debut for the Tigers. For the Gold Coast, they've got 2 debutants as well. The son of Marcus Bai, the 1999 Melbourne Storm Premiership winner, his son Cooper is going to play his first game, of course, as an under-19s lock for Queensland. And also, we've got Carter Gordon, an 8-time Wallaby, who is going to make his debut in the NRL at the age of 24. Now, a guy who used to play rugby is alongside me, Clinton Shipkowski. He was also a star with the Raiders and Parramatta Eels and the South Queensland Crushers. Not the great scene outside that we would like, Chock, but what a great game of footy we got ahead of us.
Yeah, we're used to blue skies and sunshine here, but it's a cooler afternoon. A little bit quiet outside too when I was walking in, Zano, so I don't think we're going to get the biggest crowd this afternoon, but yeah, you touched on it. Really looking forward to watching all 3 of those debutants. Carter Gordon, wow. If he can have half the influence that Mark Nawanga Nitawase's had, we'll be cheering here at the Gold Coast. So really looking forward to watching him and Marcus Bai's young bloke as well. But this should be a really entertaining game. I don't know how the defence will stack up, but I think there's going to be plenty of points.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we're expecting the Tigers to be 1-17 with no changes. For the Titans, they've already announced that Philip Sami's out with a groin injury, meaning that Jalen de Groot gets his 9th straight turn as a Titan after playing a few games early in the season. He comes back into the lineup with Sami out again. Now, what are you expecting from this backline with Kinney now at fullback to start with? The first time since round 3 that he's going to start at fullback, and we've got AJ Brimson starting at left centre after he went there in second half last week.
Yeah, he pretty much made the fullback spot his own, young Kinney, and he's back now from the neck back surgery, I think it was. So, yeah, they look really good the last 30 minutes of that game last time here at home when they made that change. Kinney went to fullback, Brimson went to the centres, played on that left edge, didn't he, AJ Brimson, and every time the ball went there, something happened. So they could strike up that combination again. I'm sure there's plenty of points in the Titans here this afternoon.
Tigers were competitive last week against the Raiders. See what they're going to do today. The Tigers versus the Titans. The referee is Chris Butler. The bunkers, Matt Noyen. We'll have teams later on, Q, but it's back to you at Wollongong.
Gentlemen, thank you. It's a rare occurrence that I'm here at Wollongong and got better weather than you guys on the Gold Coast. So in the in-between game show, by the way, stick around. Michael Maguire, the Broncos coach, is going to join us. So we've got the second half coming up here, and then Madge, our premier guest, in between the finish up here and then going to Robina. And of course, later on this evening, Tim Gable and the team will bring you the call from Stadium Australia, where Canterbury, Bankstown and Cronulla Sutherland have pretty much picked top strength teams to tune up for next week's finals, with the Bulldogs to go south for a qualifying final against Melbourne and the Sharks to play an elimination final at home, but just against who? That's one of the questions that will be answered in the next 40 minutes of football here. Penrith 22 leading the Dragons 6. And the Dragons, though, do have Mother Nature helping them in this second half. They'll be running to the south with the advantage of the breeze. Dylan Edwards kicks off. Second 40 underway in the gong. And the Dragons, through the services of Hame Sele, take the first carry just beyond beyond their 10-metre line, down at that northern end. Shift to the left already. King Tonga to Gutherson, infield line. Oh, Fiona almost gets through a tackle. He lost his footing and got tackled, but that was Enterprise. Second play, a bit of ball going through the hands from the Dragons to the left edge. Now a straightening run, and 15 from halfway on the carry there of young Halangahu, plays the ball to Cook. Given on to Pacifici Tonga, and he's tackled. Centre third, 5 metres inside Dragons territory. First set of the second half. Little off his right shoulder, serves it up to Suar. He's put down by the tackle of Schneider, who's out there for the Panthers. Last play for the Dragons, 45 metres from Penrith's line. King Tonga puts up a bomb. Edwards comes to it, catches it comfortably, 10 from his own line, and the Penrith fullback gains 15 metres on the carry before being stopped. Michael Carrianis, down to you in the shadows of the western touchline. What are the whispers from the rooms at half-time?
Well, that breeze is not any lighter, so the Dragons will try and capitalise on that, get full advantage, and Shane Flanagan just wants them to get back into the arm wrestle. As for Penrith, they like what they did when they chanced their arm a couple of times in that first half.
Good on you, MC. Cleary on the 40, going for a 40-20 early against the breeze. He screwed it off the edge of the boot on the bounce. Turns away from the touchline. Gutherson fumbling eventually, picks it up on his goal line, audaciously passes into the in-goal area for Corey Allen, but he can't escape. It's a goal line dropout for the Dragons. Cleary didn't get the 40-20, but he's still able to create something with the ball just devilishly bouncing at the toes of Gutherson, and the Dragons are pinned in the in-goal area.
He's brilliant, isn't he? Nathan Cleary. I thought he was going to get the 40-20. The ball bounces back. The chase of that right edge, led by Tungo. He just comes down, holds Clint Gutherson up. He forces him to pass to Allen, and then he just gets driven back into the in-goal. And here's the line dropout from the Dragons.
Yeah, they've gone long, traditional style 45 on the carry, and charged back by Henry. He's taken 30 metres from the Dragons line. So Penrith with possession on the attack early stages second half. Papali'i down the middle third and up to the red stripe of the 20 before being grasped in a three-man Dragons tackle. Plays the ball there to Schneider, passes right in centre field for Cleary, pops it up, infield line from the Dragons there. Sorensen can't get, no, that was Henry, can't get through. He's 10 metres out to the left. Cleary dummies right and left, taken in the tackle though of Sele. Cleary to play it 5 metres out, slightly left of the upright. Schneider passes right, Yo falls over, caught it though, gave the pass to Edwards. Edwards is going to be tackled by Little. Last play Panthers. Out on the right, 5 metres out. Oh, that's messy. Schneider passed it along the ground. Talangi picks up, kicks it into Sorensen, who was in front of the kicker.
Accidental offside, handover out here.
Oh, that was not as we expect from the champs. It was clunky and a bad end of the set. Hand over to the Dragons.
Yeah, I'm going to put it down to the wind just when he throws the ball out of the hand to find Nathan Cleary. It sort of slips and hits the ground, and then they didn't know what was going on. And poor Sorrow, he was just standing there. Next thing you know, he gets hit in the legs. An accidental offside, but I think it's a good sign there for, I suppose, the Dragons.
Repeating, Penrith win. They're off to New Zealand to play the Warriors. And that would then set up a game between Cronulla and the Roosters at Shark Park next week. Gutherson to the left through the hands of King Tonga. They've shifted again on their own 30. Out towards Fiona, who comes in and is tackled though. Matt Fiona to play it. 15 his own side of halfway. King Tonga passes infield. And run there from Pacifici Tonga up to the 40. End of the set. Flanagan boots it downfield. It's a bit of a floater. Pitches 15 from the goal line and then rolls a little bit to the left of Jenkins, who gathers it eventually pretty comfortably in the end. He runs into the defence, then pops the pass to Edwards. They keep it alive. Pops it up to Alamotti, who's going to be tackled. So a little bit of ball playing there from the Panthers. And Alamotti plays it between the goal line and halfway. Jenkins, one man to the left of the ruck, gains 10. He'll play it 15 inside Penrith territory. Talangi passes left for McLean. Canksy McLean into the defence. Not far from the NRL logo on the western side. 5 inside Panthers territory. One man infield to Papali'i. Rolls into a 3-man defensive wall of the Dragons. They stop him 44 metres out. Couple of plays left in the set for the Panthers. Pass a bit loose again from Schneider. Cleary sort of had to go high to tap it down and control it. He did well in the end, but just lost a little bit of momentum in that play. So out to the right, and Garner is tackled. Last play. It's given on to Cleary. They run it down the blind side. Pass is knocked on by Tungor. No, the pass was forward according to the referee. So just a couple of little bumps in the Panthers machine the last couple of sets, Louis. 22 points to 6. No score in the 5 minutes of the second half so far.
Yeah, a little bit of sloppiness from the Panthers over the last couple of sets in this second half, but they're still getting upfield nicely. They're still getting in field position, but they would be very unhappy with the way that they've finished their sets in their last play options. So I reckon that's something they want to fix up in the next couple.
Pacific Tonga up to halfway. Dragons with the ball. The hill's packed. It's a gorgeous Saturday at Wollongong. Dragons looking for a response. Gutherson to the right. Buchanan runs at the line. McLean's there to take him down. And young Hayden, but Buchanan plays it out in the right. 35 for the Panthers line. Blindside. Flanagan feeds it down the wing for Sloan. He tries to kick infield. Sorensen comes across and charges it down over the touchline immediately. So the Dragons will get another go here. Just a little blindside snipe there. The contest really needs a Dragons try. I think the atmosphere probably needs it as well. Panthers fans are happy. The guns are back. And 4 tries to 1 in the first 40.
What are you saying, Q? Do they score here, Dragons?
No. I'd like to see it for the contest, but if you're asking me the question, the answer's no. We'll wait and see. Sello plays at 5 metres out. Dragons fans are yelling at me everywhere. So they'll prove you wrong, Q. Pacific Tonga. He's tackled 5 metres to the left of the uprights. Only a couple of metres out. Now Little passes right. King Tonga through Flanagan onto Suar. Great jam in from Talangi on the left side, quickly in his face. Makes the tackle. Played to Little. Has to shift it back left to Flanagan. Pops it up to Selle. Hame Selle brought down 5 from the goal line, just to the right of the upright. Still a couple of plays left for the Dragons. To the left for Flanagan. Floating pass to the edge. Gutherson. He passes to the wing. And a flying put down from Corey Allen makes a goose of us all. What a try from the Dragons. Corey Allen coming in late with Tui Pilotu injured in the lead into the game. And the one-time Origin hero for Queensland, he was like Superman flying into the corner to score for the Dragons.
Yeah, well, I would have said they were going to score, Q. That's a nice little shift over to that left edge. And Clint Gutherson, does he go short or long? He does a great job to find Corey Allen, absolutely flying down that left-hand side of the field. Hits him perfectly, and he dives from about, 2 metres. Hang on, does he get it down? I think he did. I tell you what, I'd like to see that one more time. I just want to see his elbow. But that was a really good finish if he does get this down.
It was Allen out there. I'm claiming that, MC. I'm claiming it.
Yeah, well, Louis sent me a text saying tries coming, so Louis is on fire. But nice bit of work there from the left-hand side. Try confirmed, and let's recap that. Corey Allen only brought into the side of the warm-up after Christian Tuipulotu injured his hamstring again in the warm-up a couple of moments just before kickoff.
That was a super finish. There's just a little sliver of sunlight out there in that corner, and Allen he was very lucky in the ball in his right hand reaching out, and he just got it down before his feet touched the ground beyond the touchline.
He jumped from a fair way out too.
Oh, yeah. So now, Dragons fans on the hill looking at Kyle Flanagan. He's not far away from them at all out there. Ball placed right on that eastern touchline. 22 points to 10 for Penrith. Plenty of time left in the game. This will give the Dragons a bit of a boost. You'll have to start it near side to allow from the breeze coming off the beach. It'll fade left to right as he sees it. So having to allow for it near side. The strike sounds good, but he's missed the kick. No conversion. Score remains Penrith 22, St George Illawarra 10, with 31 and a half minutes left in the game. Let's get around the grounds in And the Rugby Championship, try for the Wallabies early in the second half. Argentina 21 though, still lead Australia 14. Repeating those New South Wales Cup and Queensland Cup scores. The Raiders undermanned, beat the Jets 24-20. In the Queensland Cup, Burley's defeated Wynnum Manly 22-14. The game between Norths and Townsville's underway. Blackhawks 6 lead the Devils 0. AFL elimination final second quarter, Hawthorn lead GWS by 4 goals. Of course, that call is available on the ABC Listen App, red and blue button. Dragons with it. Selay plays it. First carry just short of the 20. Suar rolls down the middle, third for second play. Midway goal line and halfway Dragons. Early in this set, off the kickoff. They're doing well to get back into this contest, and they have got that breeze in the second half as eventually the referee's going to tell Pacific Tonga to play a 10 from halfway. There's a muck around in the ruck though from the Panthers, penalty to the Dragons.
Tell you what, Schneider's having a shocker at the moment. A couple of bad passes out of dummy half. He's getting caught up in a couple of bad positions in defence, and then here gives away a penalty.
Damien, no you haven't because you're off the mark.
And he got Nathan Cleary challenge.
That's
Penrith challenging the on-field decision of ruck interference.
Well,
Brad Schneider coming back through the ruck, knocks the ball out.
He definitely was inside the ruck, so I think this is a crazy challenge too.
Hi to Lynette, who's happy. She says commentator's blessing. She's giving me credit for that last try for the Dragons.
Plays the ball correctly.
Now, what's going on here?
Brad Schneider comes back through the ruck. This is ruck interference.
It's a foolish challenge.
That's a dumb challenge.
Challenged by Penrith. Like on the 40 line, you're in front when you enter.
So that's the Panthers challenge burnt. Schneider just in the wrong
You're
spot.
up here for the moment. Back here.
So Dragons off points will now get a penalty and a free trip to attacking territory again. 22 points to 10 for Penrith. Dragons take the tap to start this new set, 45 metres out. First carry gains about 7 or 8 metres down that left edge on the run there of Halangahu. Plays it 37 metres out. Give it to King Tonga. Feeds it to Selay. Selay with his thighs pumping. Well, he got through the tackle of Henry. Probably he had to work hard with Yo to put him down. Play 25 metres out. Dragons on a bit of a roll here. Flanagan to the right to Gutherson. Pops it in up for Suar on the inside line. But there's 3 and 4 Panthers there to put Jaden Suar down. Ball played 15 out the right. Little pops it up again for Pacific Tonga, who's been good since coming on. Goes to deck 9 metres out. Bounces up. Little off his right shoulder to Suar. Jaden Suar very close. Taken only a metre from the goal line by 3 defenders. Little goes low. Tries to burrow through. Loses the football in trying to plant that with the underground route from dummy half. So good defence from the Panthers on their goal line. I think Isaiah Yo was among a couple there. Jacob Little losing the ball and trying to go burrowing into the in-goal area. So the Panthers will now start play 10 metres from that southern end, and Jenkins is taken. Thomas Jenkins to his feet there. Tungor has a run. He gets taken. Schneider's in at dummy half. Panthers are on their own 20. Playing in the pink today. Papali'i. He bounces off tackler. Suar tries to strip. Papali'i gets away from him and then passes to Talangi. Passes to the end for Jenkins, who's on the 30. Runs infield. Beats 1 before being taken. About 9 metres from the halfway line. Schneider passes infield to Papali'i at the line. Pops it up to Yo. Isaiah Yo in a slipper of sun in the middle of Wollongong Stadium. Taken down on the tackle. Plays it 48 out to the right. Cleary runs at the line. Second man for Edwards. Edwards straightens, but is taken around the legs. Good tackle by King Tonga. Out on the right. Last play coming up for Penrith. 35 metres from the Dragons line. Cleary puts up a high bomb. It'll come down. Gutherson catches it despite the pressure of Alamotti. Great take from Gutho, and the Dragons survive.
Yeah, beautiful take there by Clint Gutherson. It was a good set there by the Panthers. They finally get the amount of metres they're looking for. They get down the other end of the field. They haven't been out here for a long period of time, so they've got to try and force an error now from the Dragons so they can get a bit of a look at the Dragons line. But the Dragons are doing a very good job in this second half.
St George Illawarra 15 metres from their own line. Let's get down to Michael Carianis on the touchline.
Yeah, the Dragons just did well to hold on there, but they've got to try and find another way. Their kick pressure's been really, really good in this second half, but I'm just not sure they're going to have enough points in them.
22-10 in favour of Penrith. Flanagan's going to boot downfield at the end of the set. He was 15 from halfway. Not a great gain on that set from the Dragons. He's kicked it straight to Edwards as well. Catches 10 from his own line. The Penrith pull back up to the 30 before meeting the defence. And his kick return ends only 15 metres from halfway. So good run from Edwards, and Penrith in pretty good field position to start this set. As McLean is stripped one-on-one by Little. Dragons have got it back. Jacob Little's just reaped that out of Casey McLean's hands. And the referee says that's okay. Just what the Dragons needed. So they've now got the ball in the attacking half. Sele on a straightener. Up to the 30. Momentum with the red V at the start of this second half. To the left, King Tonga through Gutherson. Into the hands of Fiona out in the left edge. Comes in field and takes the tackle. Will play the ball 22 metres from the Penrith line. 15 in from touch on the left. Gutherson feeds it infield to Pacifici Tonga, who's done his bit since coming off the bench. He's going to play it 15 metres out. And well may the Wollongong fans get behind their team. Cook to the right for Flanagan. Pops it up for Gutherson. Gutherson, beautiful flick to Sloan. Sloan's over in the corner. The Dragons have gone back-to-back to start the second half. And from 22-6 down, now it's 22-14, kick to come. And Tyrell Sloan tried 14 of the season. Where has this come from, Luke Lewis?
Well, I'll tell you what, they're using the wind to their advantage. They're defending well. They're taking their opportunities when they get them. They come up with a really nice play with Jacob Little there with that one-on-one, give him the field position. Some nice football here from Clint Gupson with that nice little flick pass to find Sloan down the sideline, uses his speed. But it's very similar to the first half, but from the Panthers. The Dragons scored their first try over that left edge through Corey Allen. Beautiful. And the second one over here by, obviously, Sloan there, but it's the exact same. You had Jenkins and then into Paul Adamotti. It's starting to be a carbon copy of the second half that the Panthers tossed up, so the Dragons are looking very sharp.
Oh, that was pretty, MC. A bit of bubble about the red V and the gong.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that from the Dragon. Nice bit of play there from Clint Gutherson, and then Sloan tiptoeing across that sideline. Yeah, brilliant play for another try in this second half.
So, Tyrell Sloan, he's now got 17 tries for the season.
In or out?
For this one. I'm going in for this one because it's the preferred side with the breeze. You can sort of kick left side and let it work back. What are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to say in too, because this is where Nathan Cleary kicked it from here to make it 16. So feels like the Dragons are doing exactly what Penrith did in the first half.
So he's only half a metre in from the touchline and 23 metres out, Kyle Flanagan.
It's a bit ask.
Okay. And what do you reckon, MC? Out. Yeah, he was going to make something up.
Yeah, correct.
That's what we have to ask him. Sideline conversion attempt. And he's just going to readjust the ball on the kicking tee, Flanagan, taking every moment over this kick. Yeah, looking at the big windsock on the hill near the beach. Still pretty much just out of the north, but a little bit off the ocean as well. So maybe a bit of left to right about it. Flanagan, he's taking too long. I want to go out now because he took too long over it. Yeah, I got off. He's like a putter. He just took too long. I pushed it left. So he kick it. Does that? Are you giving me that one?
No.
Oh, wait, come on! I got off before he kicked it. No, missed by a way to the left. 22 points to 14. But you know what I'm saying? By the moment, I was getting he manipulated, stopped, look.
No, I'm with you. I think he overthought that kick too much.
Yeah. He struck it pretty well, but it was always left. 22 points to 14. Penrith leading St George Illawarra. Around the grounds, Rugby Championship in Townsville. Big finish coming up there. There's about 10 minutes left. Argentina and the Wallabies locked at 21. Pumas 21, Wallabies 21. 10 minutes to play there. Dragons have got it off the restart. They're 15 from their own line. Around the grounds in the Queensland Cup, first half, Blackhawks 6 leading the Devils 4. In the AFL elimination final. The Giants are starting to settle. Second quarter there, Hawthorn lead GWS by 56-40. AFLW, Suns beat the Giants 52-33. Carlton lead the Bulldogs 28-20 in the third quarter. Here the Dragons with the ball. Jacob Little's wrapped up in a monstering tackle from Papali'i. And Little will play it a dozen inside Dragons territory. Played to Cook. Given off left shoulder to DeBellin. And Jack DeBellin is put down on 5. 20 in from touch on the left. Just inside Dragons territory. So it's Flanagan's boot and Mother Nature to get to the other end. He puts it up on the breeze. It holds up a little. Taken by Edwards. 10 from the goal line. He charges back, then goes to a knee to slide into the defence. And he stopped midway goal line and halfway and doesn't play the ball properly. What is that? There is grey matter on the grass here in Wollongong from a brain explosion from Dylan Edwards. What was that?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. He's not too sure either. He's looking at himself up on the big screen and he's shaking his head. It's a littlest bobbles. That was a good pick up there from Peter Goff to see that, because you can hardly see it, but right at the end in that replay, you see the little bobble. But again, the Dragons just keeping the pressure on, and the Panthers are sort of a bit shell-shocked at the moment.
That is an inexplicable error for a man of his quality and experience. So it gives the Dragons field position for another crack at the Penrith line. They've scored 2 tries to nil in this second half, St George Illawarra. It was 22-6 at half-time. It's now 22-14. Redby with the ball as it's played about 25 metres out in the left edge there by Gula. No great gain on the next carry from DeBellin. Plays it 23 metres out through the hands of Cook to the centre third for Su'A. Good line speed from the Panthers, though, here in this set. Su'A still on the red stripe of the 20. So no momentum early in this set for the Dragons. Little passes left for DeBellin through the hands. King Tongia to Gutherson. Pop pass there for Halangahu. Taken down by Cleary out in the defensive right, 12 metres out. Back to right and centre field for the Dragons. King Tongia holding it. No one there with him, so he has to run the ball, and Schneider makes the tackle in company with Liotta. Played a dozen out. Pass right by Little. Onto Flanagan. Pops it up for Su'A. Nice tackle, Blaze Talangi. They ran it on 6, handover. And after earning that set in attack, it was a pretty impotent effort from the Dragons on attack.
Yeah, that was a horrible set there from the Dragons. They hardly made any inroads at all, but didn't ask enough questions. Down there when they get a chance, they've got nothing to play for next week. They've just got to play some footy down there, have a bit of fun, keep the ball live. Second phase plays there would really sort of hurt the Panthers, but they just kept going one out and played right into the Panthers' hands.
It's a set that almost looked like they were surprised to get the ball back.
Yeah, correct.
As surprised as we were with the mistake from Dylan Edwards, who's now out of dummy half running the ball upfield for Penrith, and he's taken 5 inside the Panthers half. Schneider's in a dummy half. Given to Yeo. Isaiah Yeo rolls forward and is going to be taken about 43 metres out. A crowd of almost 17,500 in the house. Official number in a moment. Cleary with the right boot. It's high. Holds up into the wind. Gutherson catches it defensive left corner. Jenkins is there to tackle him along with Liotta. And King Gutho diffuses the bomb and will play the ball at the start of the set. 15 from that northern in-goal area, and that stands pretty well populated, Louis. 17,442 in the house.
Yeah, good turnout, isn't it?
Yeah.
A Saturday afternoon. Yeah, Saturday.
Yep.
Saturday afternoon down here in Wollongong, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's September footy style here. Repeating, we've got Robina coming up next. Now, the weather's not as good on the Gold Coast today. Mind you, they're probably whinging. It's sort of a different level of good compared to otherwise in that part of the world. Right side shift Dragons. Buchanan taken on the 30. Gutherson out of dummy half. Well, this is the last, and it's disorganised. Gutho just gets his boot to it. Pretty good kick in the end. Caught by Edwards for Penrith on his 20. Runs 10 metres upfield, links up with Alamotti, and he's going to be taken in that sliver of sunlight 20 metres in from the eastern touchline, a dozen from halfway. Panthers 22, Dragons 14. 21 minutes left in the game. It's Saturday footy on ABC Sport with Quentin Hull, Luke Lewis and Michael Carianis. Penrith with the ball through the services of Jenkins. Scored the opening try of the game. He's tackled 43 out here. Plays the ball to Schneider. Pass to Papali'i. He just rolls forward. Gains 10 metres on the carry. Gets to his feet to play at 32 metres out. Schneider looks blindside left. Gives it to Talangi. We haven't had many pings today, but there's one. A set restart just that the Panthers needed when they're in the attacking zone. So Liotta decides to crumble to deck and set things up. Penrith with a fresh set on the attack, 25 metres out. Schneider passes to Cleary on the right. Feeds it for the inside line of inside line of Garner, who's held up only 15 metres out. Garner plays the ball to Schneider, given left to Cleary at the line. Flat ball, Sorensen. Great try saver from Flanagan around his ankle. Stopped him a couple of metres out. Quick play the ball. McLean to Papali'i. Crash ball line and he's in to score. The repeat set did the trick. And the Panthers, it was almost like the ping was just an alarm bell to say, hold on, you want to stop the momentum from the other guys? Here's your chance. And indeed, they've done that with Isaiah Papali'i going in to score for Penrith. And it's 26 points to 14, kick to come.
Yeah, well, that will definitely take the wind out of the Dragons. I reckon that try, they were really in the game. They were starting to come back. They had a lot of confidence. And it was a nice little short side play with Nathan Cleary and Scott Sorensen early. Sorensen's almost goes straight through, but it's a nice quick play of the ball. Good thinking there. Comes out and then hits Isaiah Papali'i and nice and close to the line, one-on-one, uses his strength and scores a simple try there. Good work by the Panthers to bounce back the way they did.
Michael on the touchline.
Yeah, again, the Panthers just find a way to strike back, and this time it's to Isaiah Papali'i, who's, I think the Dragons bench in that first half and early in this second half probably had more of an impact than what the Panthers interchange players did, but nice bit of work there from Isaiah Papali'i to score a try.
Cleary, midway goal line and left wing touch. Ball play 16 metres out. He's kicked 3 from 4 today. Approaches, strikes and raises the flags. Conversion for Nathan Cleary. Penrith 28, St George Illawarra 14 with 18 and a half minutes left in the game. There's 5 minutes left in the Rugby Championship Test match in Townsville. Locked up between the Wallabies and the Pumas. Australia 21, Argentina 21. Around the grounds in the Queensland Cup earlier, the Bears too good for winner Manly 22 to 14. First half Blackhawks 6 leading the Devils 4 and repeating that New South Wales Cup scoreline. The Raiders undermanned, defeating the Jets by 24 points to 20. Dragons Eels game to come up a little bit later on today. Restart here from the Dragons. It's a bit shallow. Taken by Talangi. 10 from his own line. Give it a Papali'i who gets up to the 20. 0467 920 222. There's the number to get in touch. Please send us your name and where you're texting from. Sorensen gets up, bit of a slow play, the ball just short of the 30. Now Leota down the middle third. 16 inside his own half, Little to lead the tackle there along with Leilua. Now it's Isaiah Yeo, good run on a set that wasn't doing much. A bit of momentum right of the ruck, up to halfway, played to Schneider, now passes left for Edwards. Backs his way to the tackle of Little, taken down 45 out, last play coming up for Penrith. Cleary puts it, a high kick downfield, Gutherson catches it and gets nailed immediately by Alamotti. Gutherson diffuses the bomb, will play it.
Yeah, well, good set there after points for the Panthers. And back into that flow of just getting over that 50, kicking long and deep, getting that nice chase and making the Dragons look upfield and see 90 metres in front of them. So, but the good thing is they have got that wind behind them, so if they can kick early, they might find a bit of space and get a little bit of joy.
On the brink of the finals picture being decided, Penrith win, they'll go to New Zealand to play the Warriors, which would mean Cronulla will host the Roosters, but we've still got 17 minutes of footy here, 28 to 14 the scoreline in favour of the reigning champs. Flanagan at the end of the Dragon set, which only got to the 40, kicks downfield, Jenkins catches, 15 from his own line, Western corner, comes infield and takes the tackle just short of the 30. Talangi comes into dummy half, off right shoulder, gives it to Edwards, a little bop and weave but straightens into the tackle of the Parramatta bound Jack DeBellin in his last game for the Red V. Makes the tackle, now Alamotti one man to the right of the ruck, gains 10 on a straight line, quick to be sweet to play it, just inside his own territory. Leota, he receives and charges, gains a dozen, almost to the 40 in attack. Momentum on the front foot for the Panthers now. Blindside right, give it to Cleary, who steps infield but gets taken down by the tackle. Tackle out there, 25 metres out. Last play, Talangi kicks it towards that beachside wing. Tonga flies and catches and scores a brilliant Penrith try. Did he get it down?
1-1's stripping the act of scoring. Goal
no,
line.
he didn't.
Clint Gutherson, he strips it out as Tonga was coming down. And you can do that while you're scoring a try. There was 2 in the tackle, but you can do that. So it's going to be a line drop out here for the Dragons.
It's the far corner and yeah, Gutherson there among others.
There we go, penalty for back jack.
Oh, what?
Back jack. Clint Gupson was carrying on to the referee, check it, and kept going with it. And Peter blows the penalty. I think it's well deserved.
That's clear descent from Clint. That's on him. If you want to talk to him, go, mate. Go before you end up in the sin bin. Enough's enough. I'm not copping that.
They just send him carrying on like a pork chop.
Gutherson saying he was talking to himself, but referee Peter Goff
Here we are. What are we doing here?
has penalised the Dragons after what was a great defensive play to stop that try. And now the Panthers have got another set and a tap only 10 metres out. Well, that's a brain explosion from Gutho. He's put his team under pressure here. Smith on the straightening carry. Stopped only a couple of metres out. Cook's tangling in the ruck there. Play on. Schneider gives it to Yo. Inside line to Leota. Leota is going to be held up and tackled 3 metres from the goal line near the 8th pole at the northern end. Schneider passes right through Yo to Edwards to Cleary. Dummy and straighten infield. Cleary's gone 3 around him and can't get through. The Penrith champ to play it a couple of metres from the Dragons line. Edwards a distributor. Passes infield to Yo. Gives it on to Smith back in the centre third. About 10 metres out, but there are 3 Dragons around him. 28-14 to the Panthers. About 15 minutes to go. To the left to Lungy, to Cleary, on to McLean on the edge. Great first contact, Buchanan. He gets some help. But Hayden Buchanan did a great job to hold that up. Tackle made a couple of metres out. Sorensen passes infield. Cleary gives to Smith. Space for Big Lindsay to crash in. Lindsay Smith scores the try for Penrith. That should book their trip across the ditch. It's 32 points to 14, kick to come as Lindsay Smith scores for Penrith, which all but locks away the finals picture for week 1 of 2025.
Yeah, well, they deserve that try there, the Panthers, and I don't like saying this about any side, but if you're going to carry on all that from Clint Gutherson, I think that's well deserved there for the Panthers. So nice try there from Lindsay Smith. A really nice little pass again from Nathan Cleary. You could feel all the pressure, and then he had a one-on-one with Clint Gutherson. He just couldn't pull up the tackle, and scores a nice try for the Panthers. And you're 100% right. They've definitely got that trip going to New Zealand, and they're going to be hard to beat in the first semi-final.
Rare to see Gutho go off like that, MC. Certainly, that was a part. Well, I mean, they had a goal line dropout coming up, didn't they, or something?
Yeah, Gutho does tend to whinge a little bit with the referees, Q, so I'm not surprised, but the fact that they've given away the penalty. Dylan Edwards has just come from the field as well, boys. I think that's for a spell. Dan Laurie's come onto the field.
An unnamed text here, I think, sort of empathises with your thoughts, or agrees with your thoughts, Louis. It says, Gutho, you idiot. Dragons fans probably think the same. So Lindsay Smith, 4 tries for the season. Cleary, this is basically the same spot from where he converted the Papali'i try. So he's had a sighter, and he kicks another conversion. Nathan Cleary, 5 from 6 on the day. It's 6 tries to 3 for Penrith over St George Illawarra. 34 points to 14 for the Panthers, and there's 12 and a half minutes left in the game. Meanwhile, getting late on in Townsville, I think the ball's still live, and the Wallabies are having a late push at the Pumas line, but Argentina lead 24-21. We're beyond the 80-minute mark, but play is still live there. Game not done yet. Wallabies trail by 3, trying to get out of jail in Townsville. Around the grounds, Jersey flag first half. Panthers 20 lead the Eels 0. Queensland Cup first half. Norths 10 leading the Blackhawks 6. Elimination final second quarter. Hawthorn still leading Greater Western Sydney. The scoreline there, the Hawks leading by 28 points over the Giants at 11-3-69 to 6-5-41. Panthers with the ball beyond the 20. A couple of plays into this set off the kick-off. Right side shift into the hands of Tungo, who almost gets through. Fiona just got his ankles. Tungo plays it 5 from halfway. Out of dummy half. Laurie feeds to Lungy. Almost through a hole. Cook saw it and makes the tackle. Good tackle from the veteran. But the Panthers on the rumble downhill now to the northern end. Smith, the recent try scorer, recedes from Cleary. Taken 25 out. There was a 2-on-1 strip. Penalty to Penrith. 34-14. What's Nathan going to do?
They're going to keep playing.
Keep going.
Just wait for me, Nathan.
Yeah.
Just wait, Nathan.
Well, the gap's big enough. It's a... Yep, let's have a tap and another run at them. Liotta. Jeez, they put in a good shift today, Moses Liotta.
Playing really well.
15 out, straight in front when taken. Now Cleary pops it up for Smith on the inside line. Good tackle from Clemmer. Puts him down only 8 metres out. Dragons on the brink of conceding again here. Cleary passes from right to left back into Yo. Isaiah Yo under the black dot a couple of metres out. Plays the ball to Schneider. To the left for Cleary. Holds it up, second man to Lungy on to McLean. Oh, he palms away from Buchanan, but some help comes. 3 defenders in the end. Stop Casey McLean only a metre from the goal line. 10 in from touch on the left. Sorensen's in a dummy half. Reaps it. Oh, that's a shocking pass. In behind Cleary, who regathers it. He's on the 20. Shapes to kick, but doesn't. Decides to pass to Laurie on the right. Oh, his pass went to Deck as well. Alamotti taps it backwards. Cleaned up by Schneider. They're back on the 30 now, though. And Schneider's going to take the tackle.
Last tackle!
Last play. That was messy from the Panthers. So Liotta runs out the line, then gives to Cleary. Cleary puts up a bomb, hoping for Jenkins to do something. Well, Jenkins catches it. No one was jumping at him. Jenkins grubbers for the in-goal area. It sits up kindly for Gutherson, who diffuses the grubber at the end of what was a messy set from Penrith. And the Dragons have got it. We've got 10 minutes to go. Penrith 34, St George Illawarra 14. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. I'm Quentin Hull with Luke Lewis.
How funny is
How
funny is it when you see one bad pass and all of a sudden the wheels just fall off for that whole attacking set? But that was a shocker there from Scotty Sorensen when he threw it back and found the ground. But he still thought Penrith were going to come up with something, but another finish to a set they wouldn't be happy with.
Dragons have got it through to Felon. He's midway goal line and halfway. By the way, in Townsville, they're about 5 minutes beyond the 80 in that rugby test. Play is still alive. Argentina leading Australia 24-21. So still a chance for the Wallabies to pinch that one as Cook plays at 15 from half-line. Flanagan will boot downfield at the end of the set. His kick is caught pretty comfortably by Alamotti on the 20. Trots to the 30. Passes to Laurie. Laurie sees the defence in front of him, runs laterally and eventually gets taken down a dozen metres from halfway. 9 minutes and 16 seconds left as Alamotti's on the straightening run. Taken 5 inside Penrith territory. Wars fans, I think you're welcoming the Pink Panthers next week. Wait to see how this rolls out, but gee, to take a miracle to change things now. Jenkins tackled 45 out. Now Yo rolls down the middle third. To the right, he gives it to Cleary. Beautiful ball, puts Garner through a hole. The birthday boy chips in behind the line. Oh, Schneider gets in the way and knocks it on. It was going to be a little chip and chase 30th birthday present try for Luke Garner, but Brad Schneider didn't read the script and then couldn't catch the footy either.
Oh, unbelievable. He had a chance there, but just the bounce actually bounced for him, but I don't think he was really expecting it, and he doesn't get the try there, but geez, they're looking sharp again, the Parramatta Panthers, about to say, the Penrith Panthers, so they're looking good. They're back.
The Wallabies have pinched that test in Townsville. Angus Bell has scored in the 86th minute for the Wallabies to win it. So it's 26-24 kick to come. That's amazing. They were down by 3, but the ball stayed live and off a close run play. Angus Bell has scored. That's the second time this year they've had a very, very late try to win a test, like that Fiji test in Newcastle. So final score to come your way in a moment, but the Wallabies have won at Bottler in Townsville. DeBellin's got the ball for the Dragons in his last 8 minutes of footy in the Red V. He'll play at 5 inside his own territory. Pass to left and centre field through Cook to Flanagan. The King Tonya has a run at them, but Garner's there to make the tackle. Referee Goff says that's the last. The Dragons are on halfway. A little doesn't know what to do, so Scoots himself dies with the ball, tries to chuck it out the back. It's loose. There's no one there, and Schneider jumps on it. Schneider's got the ball. So 7 minutes and 19 seconds left here. 17,442 to watch it. Laurie's bouncing around over halfway. Does he get a game in Penrith's best 17, Louis?
He's very sharp. He does look good in his side, but I think it's going to. I don't know how they're going to play it, but
well, they got To'o and Martin to get into this team before next week's trip across the ditch. Alamotti almost through. Taken. There was a line break there, but he's dragged down by DeBellin 20 metres out. Now Talangi gets through the tackle of Clemmer. Plays Talangi bouncing around before losing the ball on a 2-on-1 strip. Penalty goes to Penrith. Wallabies have won that, by the way, full time, 28-24. Australia 28, Argentina 24 on that try. 6 minutes beyond 80. Angus Bell on the goal line. So
Twist on the legs, back up here.
Australia 2 wins and 1 loss in the rugby championship. Who's on report?
Someone's on report for the tackle on Alamotti.
Wait, time's off. On the line. Okay, when you're ready. Hey, up guys, on the line. Go.
So 6.5 to go. Penrith with another chance here. Lindsay Smith has already scored a try today. He's held up a metre from the goal line just to the left of the uprights. Schneider reefs it right. Yo is hit by Cook. Good tackle from Damien Cook. He got help from Leilua. And Yo to play it. 6 to the right of the uprights. And Leota runs through the ruck line. Good tackle, though. DeBellin takes him down half a metre out. Schneider looks open and left. Oh, the passes it clear his boots. He traps it, picks it up, gives it to McLean. This one's getting a bit ragged at the edges at the back end. McLean's taken 11 metres out. Louis looked at the clock, so did I. What do we got? 6 minutes for this one left, Louis. The results decided. Cleary with a grubber into the in-goal area. Taken out before he can get there. Referee says, no, that's okay. It's gone down. Getting a bit ragged at the end of this one, Louis, but the Panthers have done the job. And we have got our final set for the first week. The 2 eliminators will see Cronulla host the Roosters and the Warriors host the Panthers.
Yeah, you can see that both sides are watching the clock now. The Dragons are that bunched up. They couldn't shift it if they wanted to. It's all going to be 1 hour carries here, which are playing to the hands of the Panthers. And then Penrith are sort of just looking up, hoping that they can just get through this game now injury-free going into next week.
David Clemmer's got the ball and driven into the deck right on halfway. Few headlines around his early season move to these parts. Now to the left, Leilua receives, tries to pop a pass that's loose to the edge. Just held in hand though. Thought for a moment that was a knock on to Fino, but it's okay. He's tackled on halfway. Leilua runs infield. Gets stopped 45 metres out. Plays the ball there to Little. Given to DeBellin. To the right. It tapped on from Flanagan to Su'ar, who beats a tackle. He's 40 out. He grubbers to Sloane's wing. Sloane gathers. Passes back to Su'ar. That is a very aesthetically pleasing 4 points for the Dragons. They'll lose the game, but that's a nice highlight.
Yeah, that's a great try there from
Jaden Su'ar.
The Dragons. That is a beautiful little bit of vision there from Jaden Su'ar. Throws a nice little kick down the sideline. Beautiful pick up from Sloane at speed. And then keeps the ball alive. And then Su'ar, who started the little bit of play over this right edge of the kick, he just keeps pushing up, hoping that something's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, he's got the ball with open space and dives over the tries, as you like. And what a way to finish the season for the Dragons.
Been close up to a couple of nice tries down your edge, Michael.
Yeah, they've been a couple of nice tries from both sides this afternoon. A bit of enterprising play there from Jaden Su'ar. Sloane in free space. When he's playing with some confidence and a bit of freedom, he looks unstoppable. You just love to harness that energy for 80 minutes every week, because you know there's a player there somewhere, but yeah, it's just about trying to unlock it.
Jaden Su'ar with the try. So he'll finish the year with 4, unless he can score another one in the final 4 minutes. How are you going this time with Flanagan? In or out from 11 metres in from the western touchline, Louis?
Yeah.
21 metres out.
He'll kick it. Take his time. Or actually, if he takes over a minute, he's going to miss it. Kicks it under a minute, he'll hit it.
It's been a big weekend for him. Welcoming a new child, scoring a try. He's kicked 1 from 3 today, Kyle Flanagan. Looking to the southern end. Yeah, pretty much the regulation time over this one. A lot more confident. And he's kicked it. Flanagan with the conversion. Penrith 34, St George Illawarra 18. With a little over 3 minutes left on this Saturday of footy on ABC Sport. But don't go anywhere. We've got the other 2 games coming later on. Gold Coast versus Wests Tigers at Robina. Canterbury Bankstown versus Cronulla Sutherland at Stadium Australia. And in the in-between game show, Brisbane Broncos coach Michael Maguire is going to join us to talk about his team, which sealed the double chance with a victory over Melbourne on Thursday night. Putting that rugby score, Australia 28, Argentina 24. Winning late on in that game. shortish variation on the restart from Penrith. It pitched about 15 metres from the goal line. It bounced, but the Dragons get onto it, and it's cleaned up there by Flanagan. The Dragons are going to finish the season with 4 consecutive losses, 8 wins and 16 losses for the season, and their last 11 games, winning just 3 of their last 11. Leilua on the left edge, charging, but Cleary takes his legs away. Leilua plays it short of the 30. Little gives it on to Pacific Tonga, who's tried hard off the bench. Pacific Tonga gets a bit of a round of applause there for some post-contact meters. He's tackled 5 inside Dragons territory. Plays the ball to Little. Past the left for King Tonga. Gives it on to Leilua on the edge, but the Penrith defence is there in number. Repeating To'o and Martin to come back next week. So there'll be a manipulation or two for Ivan Cleary on that team sheet. King Tonga with a bomb at the end of the set. It'll come down about 20 metres out. Laurie catches it, despite a Dragon sliding to deck in front of him. Good catch, Laurie up to the 30 before being tackled.
It's funny, when he was going hard there, Flanagan, but I reckon he overran it. He knew he was going to get there too early, so he tried to pull up, but he slipped straight over. But I would have liked to have seen Dan Laurie took a little chip and chase there. There's plenty of room.
Wazza reckons that the Warriors would be nervous right now, thinking on the text. Penrith up to halfway. Sean's on to you as well from Rosebery Creek. He says Sloan was running faster than Bolt. Like the call guy.
I'm not going to leave that one down.
After Louis made the mix-up between Gout and Bolt. There's Laurie down the right.
I didn't really. I just tested to see if everyone was listening.
Laurie's tackled 25 metres out. Past infield to Cleary. Given through Liotta to Yo. On to Lindsay Smith with a 20. He straightens. And he's tackled. What's left? 90 seconds left in the game. Still a chance for more Penrith points here in Wollongong. Schneider passes to Yo. Yo at the line. Gives to Cleary. Right side shift. Quick hands. Laurie. Tonga. Out to the edge. Alamotti. Dances infield. Beats a couple. Carries King Tonga into the in goal. Is able to plant it anyway. And it is another Penrith try in the shadows of full time. Troops back and back in the winner's circle. Got to remind yourself, Penrith hasn't won for 3 weeks, having gone down to Melbourne, then to Canberra and Mudgee, and then last week with the New South Wales Cup team playing, beaten by the Bulldogs. But they're back in the winner's circle ahead of a trip across the ditch to play the Warriors. 38 points to 18. Kick to come. Alamotti had a bit of work to do there as well to finish that.
Yeah, he still had a bit of work to do, but he had the speed and then he has that beautiful right foot step and he's strong. So it was always going to be hard to stop. And that's nice. Just coming back against the grain. Beats King Tonga. Also beats Little and Gutherson. So 3 pretty good defenders there. Nice try from the Panthers.
2 tries on the day for Paul Alamotti. And Nathan's trying to take every moment possible to hope this could be the last play of the game. Cleary. The clock, I think, will stop before he does kick. There's still about 30 seconds left.
Do you reckon we see any more play?
Well, I don't think the Dragons are keen for it either, to be honest.
No, they're looking at their Mad Monday.
So 38 to 20 the scoreline. 38 to 20. 4 tries in the first half for Penrith and 3 in the second half. 1 in the first half for the Dragons, 3 in the second half for the Dragons. So 3 tries apiece in the second half. Fans on the beach hill, they're starting to work their way down towards the exit. Probably to get closer to Nathan and boo him as well. Give him a bit of curry out there. Cleary, 7 metres in from touch on the right. 20 metres out. Approaches. Strikes. Raises the flags. That's it. The Panthers have won in Wollongong. The Dragons' season is over and the finals are set for 2025. Penrith breaking a 3-game losing skid to finish 7th and earn the right to fly across the ditch and take on the Warriors in a cutthroat final next week. The Sharks will be at home to the Roosters. But here at Wollongong it finishes Penrith 40, St George Illawarra 20. Alamotti with 2 tries. Jenkins, McLean, Cleary, Papali'i and Smith also scoring. Cleary kicking 6 from 7. While for the Dragons, Flanagan, Allen, Sloan and Su'ar the try scorers. Flanagan kicking 2 from 4. 22-6 at half-time in favour of Penrith. Ends 40 points to 20. Stay close. The in-between game show coming up. Louis' player votes as well as the interviews from Michael Carianis. But the big names are back, Louis, and the Panthers have done as expected. They've got a win in the books, and now their sights are set on Mount Smart.
Yeah, I always thought they were going to win today, and they come out and they played well in the first half. They used that win to their advantage, and Nathan Cleary was really, really good out there today. And I reckon they're pretty happy with the way that they're travelling, but they know it all starts next week. They know that this game was only really just to sort of work out where they were going to play their semi-final. But there'll be a totally different team again next week. I reckon they'll up the ante at least 10 or 20% more from what we saw today. So I think the Warriors will be a little bit nervous now they come up against a really high quality side in the first week of the finals.
MC's just circling. We'll get down to him shortly. Good camaraderie from the players as well. So the Dragons season ends with 4 consecutive losses. 8 wins and 16 losses on the season for St George Illawarra. A season which sort of showed promise at times, but inconsistency again blighting the Red V, and another year of frustration. Let's get down to Michael Carianis.
Luke, a pretty good way to celebrate the birthday?
Yeah, it was a good way to celebrate birthday. Good win. But let's not mention how old I am. But a very good game. So the second half wasn't super good, but got some things to work on and still a good result.
Did you get what you needed out of today as a team? Obviously, so many players rested last week, almost full strength this afternoon.
Yeah, for sure, I think so. Another opportunity to build combinations, play that we want to play, and a bit of fitness too. So, looking forward to next week.
Do you feel like after the back of those back-to-back Golden Point losses, you guys are now just been waiting for finals footy to start?
Yeah, for sure. I think we matched it with the two of the places 1 and 2, and we went toe to toe with them. So it'll be exciting if we can push that far again and give it another crack.
You head over to New Zealand next week. Get to play James Fisher-Harris and the rest of the Warriors. What do you anticipate by that clash?
I reckon that's going to be a pretty good game. I got no doubt it'll be sold out. The Warriors fans will be humming. Warriors players will be humming, and they're a good side. So it'll be good to match it with them and see how we do.
Good luck next week and for the back end of the year now.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
30 candles today, by the way, for Luke Garner. That's probably why he's a little bit sheepish in that regard. Happy birthday to him, Luke Garner. And probably there's a chance to create his own try until Brad Schneider got in the way of a little chip and chase. Good work, MC. We'll stay close. Penrith 40, Dragons 20, all over. 17,442 fans in to watch it. And what's been a gorgeous Saturday afternoon, but it ends another disappointing season from St George Illawarra. So Brian To'o and Liam Martin watching on, so they'll be fresh and ready to come into this team. So Paul Alamotti's probably the guy that's in the gun there. It's been Jenkins and To'o pretty much throughout the season when at full strength. And maybe they just, Laurie came in the end for Matt Eisenhuth, so Liam Martin will come in there somewhere, and maybe Luke Garner goes to the bench. It seems pretty straightforward for a team which has had its ups and downs this season, Louis. But
the good thing is they're all fit.
Yeah,
they're all ready to go, and they've got a lot to pick from.
Back out to Michael Carianis.
Yeah, just a Dragons prop, Dave Clement. Dave, the effort was there, but probably just missed the mark a couple of times.
Yeah, mate. They, that first half we stuck it with them there, and then obviously a couple errors, and they come here to play. They're a quality side. They're the best to do it. They go set for set. You just got to hang in there, and we were good in patches and some disappointing stuff, but there's some good stuff we can take off for the pre-season, and mate, it was disappointing at the end there as well. So tough year, but we've got to reflect on it and get better. So
when you reflect on the year, what do you instantly think about?
we were so close, but these areas we've just got to fix in our game that's going to help. So we've got to review all that and get better.
You're off contract at the end of this year. Do we expect to see you around in the Dragons gear next year?
Hopefully, mate. I'll let all that stuff settle after the next couple of days, and we'll see what happens.
I hope to see you running around again, Clem. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Thank you.
David Clemmer down with Michael Carianis. Yeah, interesting. A lot of headlines with his move from the Tigers at the start of the year, and he did have the option to play next year at the West Tigers, so it was a bit of an interesting move, leaving the club and now sort of having that different contract status here with the Dragons. But I think they're pretty keen to keep him from what we've been hearing.
Yeah, in a way, he's actually been pretty good over here, to be fair. Like, he's come off the bench and he started the year really well. He's been real strong carries through the middle of the field as well, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Back to MC. You can ask Isaiah Yo how his beach walk was with Dylan Edwards when I spied him earlier today, MC.
Yeah, not sure I will, Chip. What about that performance, mate? Did you get enough of what you needed heading into next week?
Yeah, I thought the start was good. The start of the second half was disappointing, but sometimes it can be the case. You're sort of looking already to next week, and so I thought we turned that around okay with the sort of last 15-20. So a bit to work on, but it's sort of been saying for a while now. We've had some good games, but I feel like our best footy's still in front of us, and that's the pressure of semi-final football. You got to go and do it on the big stage, particularly in the position we're in, where it's all knockout. So we're looking forward to the challenge. But no, I thought overall, the way we were sort of able to just worry about this week and then figure it out from there. I think the scoreline probably showed that.
Did you get the sense that once the top four was no longer up for grabs for you guys, you were just waiting now for finals footy?
Yes and no, but you don't want to limp in. Like, you want to be making sure you're playing the right footy, and there's obviously much as three on the bounce, but you've pushed 1 and 2 to Golden Point, and for large chunks of that you were sort of in control. It's just disappointing the way we finished both those games, and obviously last week was just a really exciting week for the squad. It's NRL debutants, club debutants, everyone having a rest. It's in the sort of the first grade group, and that was a really excited sort of feel around the club. So I think we've handled it all right.
Forecast into next week. What do you guys need to do to overcome the Warriors?
Yeah, obviously starts for both halves are obviously important. Obviously start of the first half, it's going to be a lot of emotion. It's knockout footy, and there's no next week, so it's you just want to make sure you get that right. And then off the back, you just want to play your game style. They'll be saying the same thing, but I just feel like we can sort of get our style on, and it's no secret we want ball in play, we want live footy, asking questions, and so if we can do that, we'll give ourselves every chance.
You looking forward to playing James Fisher-Harris over there?
Yeah, I dare say that'll be an easy storyline, Fish versus Moses, but these are the games you come up against, and he's a huge part of their side. He's done a wonderful job over there, and he's going to be a big part of trying to stop him, to obviously stop the momentum. So looking forward to the challenge.
Good luck in another finals campaign.
Thank you, mate.
Great work, MC. Isaiah Yo down there with Michael Carianis. Penrith 40, St George Illawarra 20. Those scoring details again. It was 22-6 at half time in favour of the Panthers. Paul Alamotti scoring twice. Well, he's done his bit at least to make Ivan Cleary think about that selection of Brian Tyro, expected to come back in his place next week. Jenkins, McLean, Cleary, Papali'i and Smith also scoring tries. 4 tries in the first half, 3 in the second. Cleary with 6 from 7 with his conversions. And for the Dragons, who scored just the 1 try in the first half, it was Kyle Flanagan. And then in the second half, Allen, Sloan and Su'ar scoring. Flanagan heading up with 2 goals from 4 attempts. Your thoughts continue to be welcome on 0467 920 222. Please send us your name and where you're texting from. 0467 920 222. We'll go around the grounds with the full gamut of scores in a moment, but just repeating, Australia has beaten Argentina in that rugby test with an 86th minute try to Angus Bell. The Wallabies winning 28 points to 24. Half-time in the AFL elimination final, Hawks lead the Giants by 3 goals. But, Louis, the 3-2-1, have you got it sorted out already?
Yeah, I had it sorted out for about 5 minutes before the game finished, but
well, it was one of those kind of games, wasn't it?
It was all the Panthers for me. There was no one in the Dragon side who really stepped up, but obviously the halfback for the Penrith was phenomenal today. I thought he was really, really good with his kicking game, so he gets my 3. Nathan Cleary,
decent player, isn't he?
Very, very good
for Penrith.
He's when he's on and the Panthers are on, they're so good, but he gets my 3 anyway. 2 points to Moses Leota. I thought he was brilliant through the middle of the field. He's His carries were really strong, good quick play of the balls. He was everywhere, very, very busy. And I went Luke Garner for one. I thought he was really strong on the edge as well. Ran some really nice holes, defended really well, and he was everywhere in every kick chase line as well. So that's my 3-2-1 for the day.
3 to Cleary, 2 to Leota, 1 to Garner, and it seems pretty obvious. To'o and Martin to come in, so you sort of think, well, Laurie came in on the bench for Eisenhuth, so you wonder whether, well, that's the spot. That's where Martin comes in, and just To'o for Alamotti. Any other discussions you think during the week about that team?
Yeah, I would obviously Brian To'o and Liam Martin come in. I think Liam Martin goes to starting side, and it'll be either Scotty Sorens off the bench and keep Luke Garner, or vice versa. Luke Garner was great today. Scotty Sorenson's used to coming off the bench. I just don't know which way they're going to go, but that's what will happen. And obviously Paul Alamotti's going to miss out, which is, he's been good today, and he played well last week, but Brian To'o's just been superb for a long period of time, and that combination they've got out in that edge with To'o and McLean is very, very good.
Tim from the Sunshine Coast texts, is there much difference between 7th and 8th? Wouldn't Penrith have been better off losing today and not have to travel to New Zealand?
Well, I just ran into Matty Cameron out the back, and I said, it looks like you boys are going to be going to New Zealand. And he goes, do you know what day I was going to play? I said, sometimes you think of just losing today would have been better, because you would have got to stay here. He goes, well, it would have cost us less. We had to go and pay for accommodation and travel over there and get the timing and all that sort of stuff right. So it probably would have been easier to play here.
Wouldn't the NRL cover though, because it's a finals game?
Yeah, I got no idea.
Yeah,
I don't know how that all works.
But seriously, from a perspective of obviously it's a trip from the west to the Shire compared to the trip across the ditch. But
yeah, correct.
I mean, the Warriors are probably in the worst run of form of a team coming into the final series that we've seen in some time.
Yeah. I reckon that'd be the easier team.
So Penrith will be the shortest price favourite of a 7th or 8th place team going away for a cutthroat final, I think, in recent years.
It'd be interesting to see how the bookies look at it too over during the week, if the Sharks go in as favourites or the Roosters. Well, so it's going to be a tough game as well.
Next up, by the way, just the team news from Robina. Zane Bojak and the team will bring you Gold Coast versus the West's Tigers. So that's leg 2 on our 3-game Saturday, and the storyline there is that if Gold Coast win, it means that for the time being at least, Newcastle will be on the bottom of the ladder. So,
and who are Newcastle playing again?
The Knights are playing Para in the last game. That's at Western Sydney Stadium at 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Oh, I don't reckon. I can't see them winning against Parramatta.
Okay. As far as the Titans team changes, Phil Sami's not playing due to a groin injury. So Jalen de Groot will start on the wing. Cleese Haas comes into the starting team at lock with Tino Fa'asuamala. Are we going to the front row because RCG goes to the bench? So Sami out, de Groot to the wing. A bit of a change-o in the pack. RCG to the bench. Chino to the front row. Cleese Haas to start at lock. The Tigers are 1 to 17, but Alex St. Bartha is going to start with Fanua Pole going to the bench. Let's go around the grounds. We'll start with that NRLW game from here earlier today, just to bring you up to date with that. Cowboys ensuring that they're still very prominent on that NRLW ladder, defeating the Dragons by 42 points to 14. The game between the Bulldogs and the Sharks is not too far away. The first week of finals in the Cup competitions, and New South Wales Cup scoreline is extraordinary. The Raiders, with all of those players being rested from the first grade team, i.e. weakening the New South Wales Cup team, the Raiders have still beaten the Jets. Full-time Raiders 24 have beaten the Jets 20. Dragons and the Eels shortly to get underway. Queensland Cup, Burleigh Bears 22 have defeated Wynnum Manly 14. Live game second half, Norths 22 lead Townsville 6. In the Jersey Flegg finals earlier today, the Sharks beat the Raiders 16 to 12. Second half, the Panthers 24 lead the Eels 6. A couple of results in the women's competitions. In New South Wales, Knights 16 beating the Panthers 12. in the Queensland competition. 2 results already today. Winner Manly beat the Bears 22-16. The Tigers beat the Capras 36-4. And progress score, Clydesdales 4 lead the Devils 0. In the AFLW today, Melbourne beat Richmond by 37 points. Gold Coast beat Greater Western Sydney by 19 points. And Carlton has just defeated the Western Bulldogs by 16 points. In the elimination final out at the showground, Hawthorn on top of Greater Western Sydney. The Hawks 11 goals 470 lead the Giants 6 goals 541. That's early stages, third term. Michael Maguire's not too far away. MC's rejoined us in the box. Steve from the Sunshine Coast is great core guys. Can you tell me what's happened to Val Holmes at the Dragons? Well, he's been out with a shoulder injury, so thank you for that. MC, is it warmer in here? Is it getting a bit chilly out there with the breeze?
Yeah, it's getting a bit cold down there, but not too bad for what month are we in? August?
Yeah.
Or September even. Not too bad.
I mean, it looked pretty clinical close up. How was the reaction on the bench from the Panthers after took care of business?
Well, the only concern I'd have for Penrith is the form of Dylan Edwards. That's my only concern around the Panthers. And, like, I mean that respectfully, right? Because he's obviously been at the top of his game for so long, but he's making these errors in big moments. And, you know, a couple of weeks ago, they'll punish, but today he made one to, you know, drop the bomb and then play the ball. The play the ball is just a
but he doesn't
concentration. He doesn't look
safe under the high.
No, I know. I'm with you, Louis. That's my concern for the Penrith Panthers at the moment is, you know, I think, you know, they did enough to win the game. They showed flashes of brilliance, whatever, right? But my concern for them is where Dylan Edwards' game is at the moment, which is a surprising thing to say given how ultra consistent he's been for the last 4 or 5 seasons.
Louis?
Yeah, no, I concur with what Michael's saying. I feel like he's very unsure of himself. He's when he goes for the high ball, he looks a little bit unsure. He's a bit nervous, and he's coming up with like those real simple errors in the ruck that we don't see from him. It was like, remember when he very first came on the scene, he was making a lot of those errors and it took a bit of time for him to get it out, and then he's been a superstar. But I can't knock a champion player. You have days where things don't go wrong. You have weeks and months that happen like that. But he is a big game player. So, you know, when it comes semi-final time football, I feel like his mindset can shift pretty quickly. But no, I am with you. With the last couple of games that he's been playing, he has been a little bit off for a Dylan Edwards type game.
And it's been an exceptional level that he has set
the
last 4 years.
Absolutely.
But it's a good point you raise. Let's look a little ahead to next week, or at the same time, reflecting on the result on Thursday night. The Melbourne Storm have basically owned the Brisbane Broncos for about 7 or 8 years, bar that qualifying final in 2023 when the Broncos ambushed them. I was there to call that game, and I was there to call the game on Thursday night, and the feeling inside Lang Park right from the get-go had similar vibes about it. Terrific performance from the Broncos to beat the Storm by 30 points to 14. They'll travel to Canberra to take on the Raiders in a qualifying final next week, and the coach of the Broncos, Michael Maguire, joins you on Saturday Footy on ABC Sport. Michael, great to have a chat to you, and a couple of days on, reflecting from what was a terrific performance on Thursday night. How are you?
Yeah, g'day guys, thanks for having me on. I was really proud of the players, I've got to say. We've been working hard to try and find the game that we probably saw there the other night, but we also know we've got to get better, but it's something there that the boys have continually just tried to move towards, a strong game of both attack and defence together, and I feel that we're in a good place at the moment, but we've got to take that into obviously next Sunday now.
I'd love to get your thoughts on what it's like sitting in the coach's chair in that first 5 or 10 minutes. With no disrespect, you get a sense early in Broncos games, particularly when they're playing the big opponents, whether they're on or whether they're off. But what were you thinking that first 5-10 minutes Thursday night?
Yeah, I guess the thing I've got is we're playing the style that we've continually talked about now, and I guess we've had some challenges over time, sort of showing, that we can handle, long term within a game, and that's building pressure. And sometimes we might take the easy option or a pass that shouldn't be there. But I feel that we've moved towards that game now, and so all will be the first 5 minutes. You still get a bit nervous as a coach because you're sort of thinking, have we changed? Have we moved towards the game I believe can win? So it's something that's been good for the boys.
Madge, first of all, mate, congratulations. Great year, really, and the top 4 finish is amazing, so massive congrats there. But, mate, talk to me, as a coach, how frustrating is it when, you see your team during the year, they'll won't play that well, and then all of a sudden you're getting, to bounce back. What's it like, and how do you get them to play this kind of footy for another 4 weeks?
Yeah, I guess, Louis, that's the part of the job that I actually really enjoy. I mean, I knew that I felt there was change needed in the way that I'd like to build the team, and I knew it was going to take a bit of time. And look, we're definitely not the finished product. We've got to keep pushing towards that, but I feel that the headspace of the players throughout the season has definitely shifted in how we want to play, and we probably learned a lot of lessons when we actually went through 4 losses in the middle of the season, where I just felt, wow, this is a bit of a bigger task than I expected. But to the credit to the players, they were the ones that actually turned and thought, we need to bring change. And over the last sort of 10 weeks, we've really seen that change come into their game, Louis. So we've got to take those learnings now and take it into the finals, which it's the best time of the year. So good time to do it.
Talking about change, one guy I have seen change, he's been absolutely phenomenal for you over the last couple of weeks, is Reece Walsh. Now, what's he done different?
Yeah, probably bought into what I just spoke about. But look, he's a player that's always sort of probably out in the open, in the public eye, and he probably puts it out there every now and then. But he's definitely backing up the way he's playing. But I've just seen a really shift in his maturity, Louis. Like I just think throughout the season and early days, he was questioned and spoken about, and said he couldn't do this and couldn't do that. And if you saw how hard he worked, you can understand why he's transformed himself into what he's doing now. And that's like any good player. You've got to put the work in, and I feel that Reece is really doing that. And after training, he's there for an hour after training, just practicing little parts of his game, and he's connecting with his players, and I think he's getting the reward.